Welcome and good morning to Mike Ferry TV. It's the week of May 25th. Boy, isn't that amazing? May 25th. January, February, March, April, May. Gone, done, finished, ended. Good night, Louise. We only have 1 month left in the first half of the year to perform. How are you performing so far? How many listings have you taken? How many listing appointments have you gone on? How many hours have you spent prospecting? How many contacts have you made per week, per month, year to date? You know, how many good leads do you have? How many pendings do you have? How many buyer-controlled sales? How many closings? How much money have you cashed checks on and set aside to live your life right? It's time to look at those things as we look at coming up to, in a few days, June 1st. So last week, I spent a little time with you, if you were with us, talking about some of the basics that I've been teaching for virtually 40 years. And there are 9 basic fundamental things that I've been teaching. I covered 3 last week: waiting for business to find you, buying business, and earning business. And this week, I want to talk about 3 more of the basic fundamentals because, see, everybody keeps saying to me, why aren't you doing more advanced work? Well, because most people haven't got the basics down yet. The Superstar Retreat coming up in July, it's going to be advanced sales techniques. 4 days, advanced sales techniques. That's all I'm going to work on with you. I hope you're there. But now watch this very carefully. Most people have never figured out what to say and what to do to go out and get a listing and make a sale. Most of you still are sitting there wondering, what can I do? Can I get control of my business? Can I get control of my financial situation? Can I get control of my life so something positive happens on a regular basis? And the answer is yes. But it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of skill. It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of time to develop yourself to the point that you can go out and predict and duplicate business virtually week to week. So what I've been talking about for 40 years, in addition to obviously waiting and buying and earning, are 3 other key words in you building your business. And let's talk about them today. The 3 words Earl Nightingale called the first word the magic word. In fact, he did a whole recording on the magic word, and that word is the word attitude. Okay, as you listen to me today, what is your attitude? Are you saying, wow, this is great. I'm going to learn something. I'm going to review something. I'm going to go back to where I was and get this reinstituted into my mind. Or are you saying to yourself, oh, are you going to have to listen to this for the next 10, 15 minutes? Is that same old stuff from Mike Ferry? Oh my gosh, I wish you'd find... What kind of an attitude is that? Because remember, in life, guys and gals, your attitude is either positive or negative. There's no neutral. Okay, in a car, you have drive, you have reverse, you have neutral. There's no neutral in attitude. Either you're excited, you're positive about what you're trying to accomplish, or you're negative and non-excited. So which one are you most of the time? Remember, attitude is nothing more than a reflection of what's going on in here and in here, showing out here. Best example I can give you, you're driving down the street and you're in a rush and there's a lot of traffic, and all of a sudden your attitude is, why are these people here and what's going on, and don't they know I have an appointment? Well, is that going to change the circumstance of the traffic? Of course not. It never does. But see, attitude is a reflection of what's going on in here. What's going on in here for you most of the time? When you talk about time management, what's going on in here? When you talk about lead generation prospecting, what's going on in here? When you talk about doing good lead follow-up, what's going on? When you're talking about pre-qualifying, what's going on? When you're talking about using a canned listing presentation, what goes on in here? Positive, negative. When you're talking about having specific answers to objections, what's going on? Positive or negative. This is a reflection. You're sitting with the seller, and the seller looks at you and says, we really like your presentation, Mike. We want you to cut the commission. What is your attitude? Is your attitude, this is a wonderful opportunity for me to handle that objection and proceed forward and get a contract signed? Or, oh no, I can't believe they're saying this. This is so unfair. I worked so hard. How much do you want me to cut it? See, the attitude is what gets you the results in a positive or negative fashion. The second word, of course, is the word approach. I've been talking about it for 40 years. The approach is everything from what you say to your handshake. Are your shoes shined? Is your makeup on? Is your tie on straight? Your physical appearance. It's your approach. What does your pre-listing package look like? If you're taking a buyer out, is your car washed? Are the McDonald's wrappers still on the floor in the back seat, or have you cleaned it up a little bit? This is all part of the approach. And what we have to understand is the approach, which is that physical appearance and the smile on our face and our shaking of our hands and the words we use, are what create the reaction we want from a buyer or seller. I said to a coaching client a couple weeks ago, I said, you know, I saw you at the event, which I had seen this person at the event, and I said, could you possibly work any harder to look more drab than you do? And it was a lady. She goes, well, what do you mean? I said, your hair was hanging straight down, you have no makeup on, you have a plain black dress on, and you never smile. And you think that's the proper approach for going out and calling on your past clients? They don't want to answer the door with that approach. Watch. Enthusiasm, energy, a smile on your face, that's part of your approach. Or as I've been saying for 2 years, upgrade, upgrade, upgrade everything that you say and do to create a better response, which then enhances the approach. And then the third word after attitude approach is the word expectations. What expectations do you have? Do you walk in on a listing expecting to get the contract signed? Do you take a listing expecting it to sell? Do you prospect with the expectation of getting a great lead and an appointment set very quickly? When a buyer walks in the door, do you expect him to buy the house? Or do you expect them just to say, well, thanks for showing me? See, everything comes down to your expectations. See, my expectations are always the same. Each week when I record these short little TV programs for you, I expect everybody to watch, everybody to listen, everybody to do. Well, Mike, you're crazy if you have that expectation. Well, what's the option? A poor attitude, poor expectations, poor approach. So I'm expecting that you're going to take what we do today and look at the word attitude and work on improving it, and the word approach and improving it, and then raising your expectations. But what gets in the way of expectations is complacency, where you're satisfied with the status quo, where you don't have any great desire to do anything, so why have high expectations? Or what's worse, Mike, I had high expectations and I failed time and time again, so what's the point? Well, that goes back to the attitude, doesn't it? See, they all tie together all the time. So let's this week really work on maintaining a strong positive attitude. Let's work very hard on our approach, and let's keep our expectations high. I'll give you an example. I expect on July 14th to see you, and I'm talking to you now, sitting at the Superstar Retreat in July. I expect to see you. I would anticipate you'll be there with a big smile. You'll be upgraded in your approach, and your expectations will be to me deliver to you, which I'm going to do, all the best techniques on how to become a real estate superstar, which I anticipate and believe you can become. Are you going to the retreat? Have you signed up? Go online, sign up today. Call the office. You won't be disappointed. See you next week.